Hi, everyone. I'm Beena K, leadership consultant and executive coach. And as you can probably guess, I'm not at home. I'm traveling this week for a leadership conference in DC. And so I thought it would be the perfect opportunity to share some leadership strategies for networking at conferences. And so here are my top three strategies for networking. Number one, create a networking strategy that works with your personal style and energy. All right. So if you are an introvert, do not pick your networking goal to meet 100 people. You will be just drained and it's pointless, right? You're not going to be a happy camper. Instead, I'd focus on building maybe three or four really solid connections from this conference, right? Make deep connections. That can be your win. If you are an extrovert, meet as many people as you feel comfortable. But I'd also include a little bit of those deeper connections. Like aim instead of 200 people, maybe you meet 20, but they're solid 20. Like you've made some connections. You're following up. You've made some build strong connections from this. All right, so take the best of both, but make it your own for you and your style. Secondly, I would be curious. So when you do meet someone, be genuinely curious about them. Ask them how they're doing, right? And really listen, right? Build connections. Ask thoughtful questions about what they brought. Ask them, what brought you to this conference, right? What did you think of this last presenter, right? What did you think about what his topic was on XYZ? Ask more deeper questions so that you can feel more connected and they can feel more connected to you, right? The other piece of that is listening more, listening to them. When a person feels heard and they feel that you're listening to them, that's what builds trust. That's what builds connection. And finally, after you've built trust, after you've made these connections, you've built asked some great questions, you've been listening, and then you've said your graceful exit goodbye, right? At the end, finally, you're going to follow up. And with the follow up, it's not going to be a simple, nice to meet you. What I do is if people have business cards, I will write one or two topics from what we talked about on the back of their business card. And then when I'm doing my follow up later, I usually will follow up via LinkedIn or an email, depending upon what they prefer. I usually will write a note, connect with them on LinkedIn if it's appropriate. And I'll also ask about, I loved your comment on XYZ. Or it was great to meet another Eagles fan, or whatever is relevant to the topic that we talked about. You see, back in that conversation where I've been curious, I'm I'm figuring out one or two things that we have in common, or that we've talked about that I can then bring back in the follow-up note. The reason you want to do this is because that other person is going to have met maybe 100 people during the course of that conference. And you want to make sure you stand out. So make sure you send out that follow-up note fairly quickly after you meet the person and you have that point of connection inside. All right. So those were my top three strategies for you. So what's yours? What's one strategy? What's one strategy you use to get more out of your conferences?